D. Qualified short-term gain. For purposes of subparagraph C, the term qualified short-term gain means the excess of the net short-term capital gain of the regulated investment company for the taxable year over the net long-term capital loss, if any, of such company for such taxable year. For purposes of this subparagraph, the net short-term capital gain of the regulated investment company shall be computed by treating any short-term capital gain dividend includable in gross income with respect to stock of another regulated investment company as a short-term capital gain. E. Certain distributions. In the case of a distribution to which Section 897 does not apply by reason of the second sentence of Section 897, H. 1. The amount which would be treated as a short-term capital gain dividend to the shareholder, without regard to this subparagraph, I. Shall not be treated as a short-term capital gain dividend and 2. Shall be included in such shareholders' gross income as a dividend from the regulated investment company. L. Rules relating to existing 80/20ths companies. For purposes of this subsection and subsection I, 2, B. 1. Existing 80/20 company. A. In general. The term existing 80/20ths company means any corporation if I. Such corporation met the 80% foreign business requirements of Section 861, C1, as in effect before the date of the enactment of the subsection, for such corporation's last taxable year beginning before January 1st, 2011. 2. Such corporation meets the 80% foreign business requirements of subparagraph B, with respect to each taxable year after the taxable year referred to in clause I and 3. There has not been an addition of a substantial line of business with respect to such corporation after the date of the enactment of this subsection. B. Foreign business requirements. I. In general. Except as provided in clause 4. A corporation meets the 80% foreign business requirements of this subparagraph if it is shown to the satisfaction of the Secretary that at least 80% of the gross income from all sources of such corporation for the testing period is active foreign business income. 2. Active foreign business income. For purposes of clause I, the term active foreign business income means gross income which I. Is derived from sources outside the United States as determined under this subchapter, and 2. Is attributable to the active conduct of a trade or business in a foreign country or possession of the United States. 3. Testing period. For purposes of this subsection, the term testing period means the 3-year period ending with the close of the taxable year of the corporation preceding the payment, or such part of such period as may be applicable. If the corporation has no gross income for such 3-year period, or part thereof, the testing period shall be the taxable year in which the payment is made. 4. Transition rule. In the case of a taxable year for which the testing period includes one or more taxable years beginning before January 1st, 2011, I. A corporation meets the 80% foreign business requirements of this subparagraph if and only if the weighted average of A. The percentage of the corporation's gross income from all sources that is active foreign business income, as defined in subparagraph B of Section 861, C1, as in effect before the date of the enactment of this subsection. For the portion of the testing period that includes taxable years beginning before January 1st, 2011, and BB, the percentage of the corporation's gross income from all sources that is active foreign business income, as defined in clause 2 of this subparagraph, for the portion of the testing period, if any, that includes taxable years beginning on or after January 1st, 2011, is at least 80% and 2. The active foreign business percentage for such taxable year shall equal the weighted average percentage determined under subclause I. 2. Active foreign business percentage. Except as provided in paragraph 1, B, 4, the term active foreign business percentage means, with respect to any existing 80/20ths company, the percentage which A. The active foreign business income of such company for the testing period is of B. The gross income of such company for the testing period from all sources. 3. Aggregation rules. For purposes of applying paragraph 1, other than subparagraphs A, I, and B, 4, thereof, and paragraph 2. A. In general. The corporation referred to in paragraph 1A and all of such corporation subsidiaries shall be treated as one corporation. B. Subsidiaries. For purposes of subparagraph A, the term subsidiary means any corporation in which the corporation referred to in subparagraph A owns, directly or indirectly, stock meeting the requirements of Section 1504A2, determined by substituting 50% for 80% each place it appears and without regard to Section 1504B3. 4. Regulations. The Secretary may issue such regulations or other guidance as is necessary or appropriate to carry out the purposes of this section, including regulations or other guidance which provide for the proper application of the aggregation rules described in paragraph 3. M. Treatment of dividend equivalent payments. 1. In general. For purposes of subsection A, sections 881 and 4948, A, and chapters 3 and 4, a dividend equivalent shall be treated as a dividend from sources within the United States. 2. Dividend equivalent. For purposes of this subsection, the term dividend equivalent means A. Any substitute dividend made pursuant to a securities lending or a sale repurchase transaction that, directly or indirectly, is contingent upon or determined by reference to the payment of a dividend from sources within the United States. B. Any payment made pursuant to a specified notional principal contract that, directly or indirectly, is contingent upon or determined by reference to the payment of a dividend from sources within the United States, and C. Any other payment determined by the Secretary to be substantially similar to a payment described in subparagraph A or B. 3. Specified notional principal contract. For purposes of this subsection, the term specified notional principal contract means A. Any notional principal contract if I. In connection with entering into such contract, any long party to the contract transfers the underlying security to any short party to the contract. 2. In connection with the termination of such contract, any short party to the contract transfers the underlying security to any long party to the contract. 3. The underlying security is not readily tradable on an established securities market. 4. In connection with entering into such contract, the underlying security is posted as collateral by any short party to the contract with any long party to the contract, or V. Such contract is identified by the Secretary as a specified notional principal contract. B. In the case of payments made after the date which is 2 years after the date of the enactment of the subsection, any notional principal contract unless the Secretary determines that such contract is of a type which does not have the potential for tax avoidance. 4. Definitions. For purposes of paragraph 3A. A. Long party. The term long party means, with respect to any underlying security of any notional principal contract, any party to the contract which is entitled to receive any payment pursuant to such contract which is contingent upon, or determined by reference to, the payment of a dividend from sources within the United States with respect to such underlying security. B. Short party. The term short party means, with respect to any underlying security of any notional principal contract, any party to the contract which is not a long party with respect to such underlying security. C. Underlying security. The term underlying security means, with respect to any notional principal contract, the security with respect to which the dividend referred to in paragraph 2b is paid. For purposes of this paragraph, any index or fixed basket of securities shall be treated as a single security. 5. Payments determined on gross basis. For purposes of this subsection, the term payment includes any gross amount which is used in computing any net amount which is transferred to or from the taxpayer. 6. Prevention of overwithholding. In the case of any chain of dividend equivalents, one or more of which is subject to tax under subsection A or Section 881, the Secretary may reduce such tax, but only to the extent that the taxpayer can establish that such tax has been paid with respect to another dividend equivalent in such chain, or is not otherwise due, or as the Secretary determines is appropriate to address the role of financial intermediaries in such chain. For purposes of this paragraph, a dividend shall be treated as a dividend equivalent. 7. Coordination with Chapters 3 and 4. For purposes of Chapters 3 and 4, each person that is a party to any contract or other arrangement that provides for the payment of a dividend equivalent shall be treated as having control of such payment. N. Cross-references. 1. For tax treatment of certain amounts distributed by the United States to non-resident alien individuals, see Section 402(e)(2). 2. For taxation of non-resident alien individuals who are expatriate United States citizens, see Section 877. 3. For doubling of tax on citizens of certain foreign countries, see Section 891. 4. For adjustment of tax in case of nationals or residents of certain foreign countries, see Section 896. 5. For withholding of tax at source on non-resident alien individuals, see Section 1441. 6. For election to treat married non-resident alien individual as resident of United States in certain cases, see subsections G and H of Section 6013. 7. For special tax treatment of gain or loss from the disposition by a non-resident alien individual of a United States real property interest, see Section 897.